TBISE, the best in sports entertainment. We're here live in Providence, USA. TNS Media Group is the team and the family. So first of all, before we start, man, I want to thank everyone who's been tuning in, who's been supporting TBISE from the beginning, and even those who are starting to recognize our channel. I appreciate the comments, everything that's been going on, and we're going to continue to be consistent and continue to bring you guys the best in sports news. I got my guy One Punch here. Once again, we here to talk about boxing. You know, boxing is real hot right now. Boxing is, you know, at a point where you have, you know, the superstars in boxing getting ready to fight, or they fighting in the ring, or they fighting on Instagram, Twitter, and all these other platforms. But I'm just happy to see that the way that it's going and people are in tune in boxing. So Punch, man, we got some you know, breaking news. We got something new happening. You know, just not that we want to pump controversy, but you know, sometimes these things sell fights. Gervonta Tank Davis, him and Bud Crawford been going back and forth online, you know, talking about who got the most money, who got the most accolades, and all these different things, and who's this and so forth and so on. Is this good for the sport or not? Is this something, or just a black eye? What's your thoughts?
Absolutely. It's always about the paper. It's always good with the sport. Sports has always been based upon competitiveness, you know what I mean, being the best competitor. So whenever there's some light, it's always going to attract some other light. Whether it's negative or positive, it's all about the light and the paper. And naturally, you know, Bud has been, you know, the attraction, right? And he felt like he hasn't been in the limelight or got the right type of accolades or respect that he deserves, right? Mm-hmm. And Tank is the cash cow.
Yeah.
Bud wants to be the cash cow, you know, and rightfully so, he should be. But, you know, that's where the riffle comes. Whenever it's a shift in the command, it's always going to be a shift in the personality. That's what I see. So,
you know, Crawford mentioned, hey, listen, somebody's mad that they didn't get invited to Ring Magazine Gala or whatever they had going on. In my opinion, I don't think Tank really care about, you know, being invited to those type of, you know, events. Reason being is because, you know, he like I said, he's a cash cow. You know, when it comes to fighting in the ring, when it comes to being, you know, a number one attraction, he's that. And then, you know, a lot of those guys who are there aren't main attractions. Not saying that they aren't good fighters, but as far as him caring about being invited to a Ring Magazine Gala, I don't think that really makes, you know, Tank's engine go. I think Tank is more so give me the check, put me in the ring, put somebody in front of me, and I'm gonna show you what I do in this ring.
Yeah, he's definitely the cash cow. He's definitely the number one guy outside of Canelo.
Correct.
I mean, hands down. Number 3 is Crawford. 1, 2, 3. Mm-hmm. Then we go over to the heavyweights. But outside of that, they're the top 3. The top 3, hands down, of generating. And, you know, yeah, I mean, Tank don't need no invitation. They know, I'll put it like this. Whenever you're not invited anywhere, it's based upon the attraction of you're going to take the light. Mm-hmm. If he came over there, all the air is sucked out of the room.
Yeah.
Because he's, hands down, he's the cash cow. Yeah. It goes to him first.
Yes.
And then they go to everybody else. So by you not being, you know, invited, it's the fact of they didn't want you there. But why would I care? Mm-hmm. You know, so yeah, keep it moving.
Yeah, so, you know, with Tank, man, you know, me, my eye test, and then Crawford, my eye test, these guys are, you know, possibly the best fighters in the world. Too, you know, you can put it either way. Crawford's been doing it a lot longer than Tank. He's on the end of his career, whereas he's looking for big fights, big paydays. Mm-hmm. And Tank is big paydays for a while now.
Right.
Do you think that, you know, being as though Tank is at the top of the food chain and Crawford is right there, do you think it's just more so just a competitive edge? Because both of them, like you said, 1, 2, and 3, they're right there in the midst of each other's company. Do you think that's just a little bit competitive talk? Hey, listen, man, you know, I'm better than you, I got more money than you, I got this, but it's not nothing where as though it could turn into something other than that.
Well, put it like this. If they was in the same weight class, they would have already been fighting. Or, you know, he wants to fight him, because it's not even about the weight class. It's about the acceptance and the respect, money, power, and respect. So it's about the respect level. And naturally, Tank's on another level. We know. He commands the sport. He is the face of boxing right now. Whether you choose to like it or not, he's the generator, right? And outside of that, you know, Crawford is the much more accomplished and you know, have been in the sport. And, you know, basically, you know, it's the difference of, hey, I only been in the sport X amount of years. You've been in sport all these years and you ain't been here where I'm at. And yeah, he got a jet, you know, and you still driving. Basically, that's the difference of, you know, the time span. When you spend a lot of time over in top rank and you really haven't seen the paper, you would be bitter too. Floyd understood that at an early age, you know. I mean, I understood that when, you know, I looked at, you know, knowing Floyd, they only had 3 black fighters over in top rank for, you know, quite some time. It was, you know, it was Floyd Mayweather, you know, it was Anthony Thompson, you know, and it was Zaire Rahim. There were 3 blacks, you know, that at that time, you know, and right coming out of the Olympics and everything, Floyd knew at that moment that this is a sport. And whenever he was going to, you know, the meetings with Bob Arum, they was saying like, yo, the Mexicans is taking over and we got Latino fighters. They didn't put the precedence on him. And Floyd was like, yo, he already saw I wanted something bigger. So he brought himself, the first fighter, to buy himself out of his own contract. He brought himself out of the contract, went over HBO, independent, and he made a mega superstar. You know, had he been under a banner, he wouldn't have never been there. So when I saw 2-3 years later, well, 2 decades later, you know, Crawford come, Olympian, came over the same thing, and the biggest fight you ever had was only on, you know, ESPN, then you already reached your ceiling, your roof. Yeah. You know, and now when I see that with, you know, what's that, Shakur Stevens, you know, your biggest fight, you know, ESPN pay-per-view, we can't get nothing out of that. So he had to leave. Everybody, they get to a point. I see that with Keyshawn, you know. I see that with Abdul Mason. I had that conversation with Abdul, say, hey, man, what's going on over there? No disrespect to Bob, no disrespect to, you know, Carl Moretti and all them, but we already know these young stars want to be superstars. It's not no more of wait your turn. They want to be now. This the microwavable era. I want to be a superstar now.
I want that money now.
Yeah, you know, don't wait. I can't. Tomorrow I might not be able to spend it.
And who's to say that these fighters can't beat one another? You never know until they get in the ring.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of times you get these fights later on down the line when after the fighter has, you know, I want to say past their prime, but a lot of times you get them when you get these fights when you don't want them. You don't get them when you actually want to see them. Yeah. So, you know, you heard it here first. So hopefully, you know, Crawford and Tank, man, you know, I understand that this is just a competitive edge, man. You know, I want to see, you know, the best of both of those guys. We don't really want to see anything escalate beyond this point.
Me too.
Because I think that's just corny. They want to see something escalate past them just talking. They just being competitive, and you know, that's just the competitive nature of boxers. But, you know, we'll see what happens, man.
The Cameron and Jim Jones of the sport, right, of the boxing right now. It's getting really, you know what I mean, touchy, and it's a lot of emotions flying, but we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. So it's TBISE.
Let's go.
The best in sports entertainment.
Everywhere.
You need home care services for yourself, but you don't know where to begin. Please allow Mecca Care to help you. Call now, 215-644-8341.